if you look at that, reaction which he mentioned about, I think that also did not really damage the bigger trends in the stock, and it only succeeded in becoming yet another higher bottom in an ongoing sequence of rising tops and bottoms, and that also brought it down to some well-defined support regions, and now we have a very robust up move coming from there.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me start off with you, Dr. Narayan. How are you mapping the trade setup this morning? Do you think we can continue to sustain above 10,200?
Good morning, everybody. Yes, I do believe that the market is signaling those kind of intent because the Nifty has now marginally come up to cross the 10,250, 10,270 area. 10,300 remains an inflection point, but by the looks of things, it certainly seems that it might, haul itself up over that resistance as well. It's being well supported in its endeavor to do this by a better placement of the Bank Nifty, which is now closed about 24,500 and seems to be making its way towards 25,000. What is even more telling as evidence is the fact that the bounce in the small cap and the mid cap indices is very clearly much better than what we have seen in the Nifty, Bank Nifty. That suggests that retail activity is back in the market, and buying into stocks or money coming back into the market is once again the situation. So collectively, I do believe that the market will try to make it higher. The next price target that we can have on the Nifty is about 10,450. I think eventually it will make it across to those levels in the coming sessions of the month.
Okay, then let's start off with strategies this morning. The first round, that is. Kunal, strategy one for you.
Tanveer, good morning. First of all, the first strategy is a buy on Jet Airways. Now, with crude sort of ebbing off, you've seen a lot of the aviation stocks, especially Indigo, managing to make a strong comeback. Jet Airways also, I think for the last 3 days, interestingly on the F&O side, the volumes for Jet Airways in the last 3 days has increased substantially higher. The stock is now finding a base around the 600 mark. I think 590, 595 seems to be a strong base.
And overhead resistances, immediate overhead resistances.
With the stock has tested 3 times and it's bounced from those levels. So I think with crude ebbing off, I think it should play a positive role for price of Jet Airways, suggesting a buy with 655 as a target and 595 as a stop loss on the trade.
Right. Manas, come to you for your first strategy.
Good morning, everyone. My first strategy is a buy on NCC because here a few days back after some correction, the stock took support near to 100-day moving average, and yesterday it broke the neckline of inverse head and shoulder pattern on the intraday chart. Now the stock is trading above its 50-day moving average, so the possibility is very high that it can at least test 135. So target is 135, stop loss should be 124.
Right, and Dr. Narayan, what about your first strategy?
Well, Chennai Petro is something that I would suggest a buy. I think stocks from this zone of the market are all staging a recovery after having got dropped down rather severely in recent set of days and probably the last few weeks at that. So I think they've all reached some levels of support and could stage a rally, particularly with oil pulling back a bit. And currently 340, 341 for Chennai Petro. I think one could buy this with a stop at about 335 for a price target around 350.
Okay, round two of strategies. And Kunal, I'm surprised why KEI Industries is still a buy considering the stock is almost hovering around its year high. You believe there's further upside?
No, I think Aisha, look at the kind of volumes the stock is picking up. I think, just a week back when the stock was at 350 levels, which was more or less, a range below the 50-day moving average, the volumes was only 1.5 odd lakhs on an average. But the volumes yesterday clocked more than 5.5 lakhs. So it's a rise, in prices with very strong, increase in volumes, which goes to show that there's a renewed participation into the stock, momentum extremely strong, and with the market flavor remaining, towards more inclined towards mid caps, I believe KEI Industries should continue to rise from current levels. So that's a positional buy, targets of 444, stop loss 409.
Right. Manas, what levels are you watching on Indiabulls Housing?
Aisha, we have seen a lot of buying interest in NBFC stocks, and Indiabulls Housing Finance has already corrected 200 or 250 rupees from the top, and now since stock has already broken the resistance of 1250, I think the possibility is very high that you may see some more upside in Indiabulls Housing Finance. Here the target would be around 1350, the stop loss should be 1275.
are crossed, and we can expect the stock to remain in bullish.
In the same stock.
Yeah, absolutely, and we have a consensus there on India Bull Housing. I think in addition to the points that Manas made, which I am in total concurrence with, I would just want to add that if you look at that, reaction which he mentioned about, I think that also did not really damage the bigger trends in the stock, and it only succeeded in becoming yet another higher bottom in an ongoing sequence of rising tops and bottoms, and that also brought it down to some well-defined support regions, and now we have a very robust up move coming from there. And overhead resistances, immediate overhead resistances are crossed, and we can expect the stock to remain in bullish orbit in the coming set of days. Manas has given a higher target which could be achieved perhaps across a couple of days. Maybe for the day one could look at 1310, 1320 as the immediate target, but overall the trend in this seems to suggest that we might progress towards 1350 levels.
All right, gentlemen. Thanks very much for helping our viewers with those strategies. India Bull Housing Finance will be a consensus trade, so watch out for that when we begin the session in about 45 minutes from now.